it's pretty much been over. Yeah, it has been. It has been very, very interesting. Um, I'm looking at some Twitter news here, which is popping up and actually getting pretty interesting. I do apologize, and I don't know really what the news is because pretty much what I'm looking at is like Dave Wasserman, who's the guy who's on Twitter, is like, I've seen enough all the time, and Nate Silver did a thing where he was like, he like did that through, I don't even know. Forget about it. I got a little distracted there. I apologize. So pretty much, yeah, the Democrats are freaking out, and McCarcel Powell, she broke into tears as she spoke to her soon-to-be former colleagues about the internal divides in her party. Yeah, and again, this is someone, like, it should not be hard for you to win this seat. Like, this is it's a pretty Democratic district. It's not super Democratic, but it is pretty Democratic. And again, it's a slightly tighter district, but I think there was a real big problem they had in South Florida. They were complacent. They took it for granted, and they did not offer anybody anything substantive. And, I mean, if for a constituency of around 700,000, you should be able to prove to your people that you're not a socialist, if that's what's killing you so much. And again, DSA-backed measure for minimum wage raising passed with 60%, 60+% actually in Florida. So there's no excuse for that. It is ridiculous. Continue to fight for kids or whatever you believe in. Yeah, we will. But if you have a problem, pick up the phone. Don't tweet it out. Representative Abigail Spanberger, who is she's really one pretty special one from the, of course, a CIA alum who narrowly escaped defeat on Wednesday in a conservative leading district in Virginia, whose politics should be like perfect for that district, which is a big thing. Said the Democrats have toiled to protect, and she chastised her progressive colleague for embracing the defund the police movement and for not pushing back forcefully against accusations of socialism. If Democrats did not acknowledge the election results as a failure, it's the just absolute manipulation, the refusal to accept any kind of responsibility, and like literally, it's like if there were no Democrats, if the squad didn't exist, and if it was all the people, like Joe Crowley type people in their places, they would still find some way to blame it on us. They would still find some way to blame it on the left because they just can't give it up. They can't stop with the corporate money. They can't stop with there are people like their state reps in Florida saying it right now. If we had tied ourselves to the minimum wage thing because we thought it would be too risky, that's what the Florida Dems thought, and we're also pissed off too many corporate donors, we probably would have won the state. And if we actually tried to campaign with Latinos, we probably would have won the state. Like that's all that takes. It's literally all it takes. And also actually offering something to your constituents, running on something. And I mean honestly, just I cannot take this ridiculousness. Yeah, Pelosi objected, though. She said, "We won the House, Abigail. We won it." Bustos won re-election narrowly, emphasized the success of the so-called frontliners, about mostly 40 freshmen Democrats, including Spanberger, who held seats in a traditionally conservative district. While some lost this week, most were poised for victory. These were seats that were in Trump country, and we were able to hold on to 30 seats that are Trump districts. That's no small feat. She also defended the Democrats' offensive push deeper into Republican territory, a move that yielded few pickups, and some members said left incumbents inadequately protected. Losses for Democrats included some freshmen in swing districts, like Joe Cunningham, South Carolina, Chotil Torres Small of New Mexico, Kendra Horn of Oklahoma, and Abby Finkenauer of Iowa, but also a veteran, Colin Peterson of Minnesota, who has led the Agricultural Committee and served on the House for 3 decades. One of the biggest surprises of the election came in South Florida, where Trump made significant inroads among Cuban Americans, again with that socialism stuff that Biden failed to counter until a month after Trump started putting Spanish language ads up in there. Insane. Some things that we're finding out. Representative James Clyburn, one of my favorites of South Carolina, the third-ranking Democrat and the first-ranking taker of pharmaceutical contributions, said the party needed to overcome racial animus in the election and had to shy away from certain far-left policies that alienate key segments of voters if Democrats wanted to win a pair of Senate seats currently in play in Georgia. Yeah, I mean, they're not... Honestly, that's probably true because they're not going to have time to remake the whole electorate. The only reason they're competitive there in Georgia is because they're going after former Republicans. And we'll see how long that lasts and if they can actually do that without Trump without Trump there, without Trump present. But again, just what losers, what absolute pathetic losers. Never will it be their fault. It will always be the left. It will always be the voters for not voting for them. They will never, ever, ever take responsibility. Ever. It is insane. Representative Mark Vasey of Texas. Again, this is why Pelosi is never going to get a speaker challenge because the House Democrats are insane. She actually may get it from the right, actually. So Mark Vasey of Texas warned his fellow members against anti-fracking talk, saying to voters it was, in Texas, it was, they hear take away jobs. Well, I mean, I think really what you do, if you actually have principles like against fracking, and you're not just, your campaign isn't, I guarantee you going to his open secrets is going to be a treat. Mark, what's his name? Mark Vasey? Mark Vasey, let's see. We're going to have to, Mark Vasey. Veasey. Open secrets. Pull it up. Let's see. And I do want to see how much of that is fracking or some sort of oil and gas contributions. I may be proven wrong here. I may be. Oh, it is his top contributor. What a surprise! $122,000, $149. Woo! Okay, oil and gas, and actually, fellow members should not be talking about anti-fracking policies. It's not a good idea. All they hear is take away jobs, jobs, jobs. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Like, sending you that money. Oh, my gosh. It's just too easy. It's too easy with these people. It is too easy. It's because of fracking. That's one South Texas away from you. Not just ignoring Hispanics. So, some progressives urged against turning away from liberal policies that they argued had galvanized their party's core supporters, and they just started acting like it. I mean, Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar hand-delivered their states for Joe Biden on a platter, and they should start acting like it. They should start acting like it. Progressive priorities failed. Progressive priorities were overwhelmingly successful, where neoliberal priorities failed all across the map a few nights ago, election night, Tuesday night. And it is quite clear. Pramila Jayapal, this is a huge win. We didn't get the reputation of Trump we wanted, but we turned out huge numbers of young people, brown people, and black people. Don't be so quick to blame the members of this House who have ultimately been responsible for energizing these groups and will save the day in the race for the White House. To be real, this is Rashida Tlaib. To be real, it sounds like you're saying stop pushing for what black folks want. She said hours into the call, counseling colleagues not to rush to conclusions before studying who turned out to vote. I feel like I'm being asked to be quiet, saying her constituents did not elect her to be quiet. All right, good for her. So at least we got some people, and they have to stop taking this BS because they're going to get to define the narrative. Oh, socialism that lost all these seats. No, moral of the story as we sign off tonight: the House Democrats are incompetent.